Sorry about the noise. I live on a busy street. How are you? Happy Monday. It's been a weird day. It's been a really unpredictable, weird kind of a day. If it gets too noisy, I'll close the door, but it is nice to have an ocean breeze. I was just running around a little bit. How was your weekend? Latest on the Alito front is rather disturbing. Well, it's not surprising. It's disturbing. What do we say? What do we kind of learn to say? It's shocking but not surprising. So, we're going to look at a few things tonight. Monday night tends to be a little bit shorter because we like to check out Midas Touch, and they have a Monday night show with the brothers. Oh, Judy and Elliot are a little off balance there. Over the weekend, the loser, the CF loser, which stands for convicted felon loser. Oh, somebody's loving the weather. It's nice here too. The convicted felon loser is getting up at these rallies. Oh, Paula was gardening. Good for you. Getting up at these rallies and saying the most horrific things and putting on full display also his cognitive decline. And thanks, Cheryl, for reminding people to hit the thumbs up, and please subscribe. Cognitive decline. My question is not necessarily about him per se, but more about the fact that there are American citizens. He said it out loud for all the world to hear. He said what out loud for all the world to hear? Because there's so many things he says. What I'm really curious about is how so many American citizens, how they're drawn to him, what it is. Oh, I don't care about you, I just want your votes. I mean, like that, exactly. What it is, besides the brainwashing and the mind control. And by the way, on Thursday, in lieu of our Grassroots of Democracy meeting, I'm doing a live stream on how to talk to a Trump voter. Yeah, he said, I don't care about you, I just want your vote. So there are American citizens in various states. Fortunately, I haven't seen it where I live, but I haven't been driving around, and I don't expect I would see this here. But you never know. Today I was driving, and I got right behind a Trumpster. They're flying the American flag upside down. So I actually think that what's bothering us even more, yeah, that was in Las Vegas that he said that. He's going to the hottest places. What's bothering us, I think, even more, I mean, it'd be one thing if we were all in agreement. This is horrible. This person is horrible. This person is downright out and out evil. If we were all collectively like, yeah, that's evil incarnate. He's Satan. He's committed all 7 deadly sins over and over and over and over and over again. He's broken every commandment. But what's more disturbing to me than even him is that people are, not the majority, but they're fervently wanting that. It's like, are they, what do you call it? Is it into S&M too? I mean, they're fervently wanting this viciousness. So we're going to look at that. Yeah, I don't know if you've heard about, he met with a parole officer. Yeah, I don't know if you heard anything. We can take a look at that too. So it's just, where did they get all the hate? You know, that's what, some are being paid to attend the rally. So I have a picture. I did a screenshot, but I didn't actually get Joe Biden in the picture on MSNBC today on Nicole Wallace's show. juxtaposed, side by side, there was a picture of the loser with signs, people holding signs that say, Joe Biden is fired, which, give me a freaking break. That kind of thing, right? Joe Biden is fired. And so that was on one side of the screen, and then the other side of the screen was Biden laying a wreath at, I'm not sure which cemetery it was in France, but commemorating D-Day. And I talk about the polar opposites. Okay, so Wildflower Wind is mentioning, well, just because I'm talking about it. So our Trump bumper sticker said something like, I am for Trump because he pisses off all the people I don't like. And it's like, well, why don't they like people that want democracy? And why are they so angry? I'm actually going to start with that. I will close the door if it gets too loud. It is Monday, so it shouldn't be terribly loud out there. But you never know. It seems to be Motorcycle Alley, and then I get these people driving by that are like, I don't know what's happening to their eardrums, because there's people. Does this happen to you guys, where you're sitting at home and somebody drives by and they have the big bass and it's just like the whole car must be shaking because your apartment is shaking or your house is shaking? I get that here. Don't they care about their hearing? Their hearing? Oh, okay, so hang on. The CF, convicted felon, has been advertising on Craigslist. They are paying people to go to the rallies at $50 bonus if they wear merch. Okay. Warren's jumping in with a dad joke. I saw that you texted me that one today. Why did the him leave the hospital? Because he was cured. But I'm actually going to use the Darkwood Tarot, these cards, and I'm asking. I won't use the nefarious cards just yet, because I'm I don't hate these people. I don't hate Trumpsters. But they hate people like you and me. Why do they hate people like you and me? Yeah, he made them say BS, the real word, in the church over and over and over again. So, honestly, you guys bore witness to this. Back in February, March, I went up to New Hampshire and I met a bunch of Trumpsters, and at first I was like, I walked with trepidation, but then I finally just got into, like, hey, what's up? Like just talking to them. I don't hate those people. And I didn't get that they hated me. So that's why I'm having that. That's part of the reason I'm having that. I'm going to be live streaming on Thursday, talking about how to talk to people that voted for Trump. The fact of the matter is, somebody like him, somebody like a loser, and I don't entertain thoughts of him getting in the White House. I just don't. I don't entertain that thought at all. But I just want to make the point that somebody like him would destroy them. Somebody like him, like the loser, in a position of leadership like he was in, would destroy them. Would just destroy them. He doesn't care about them. And that's why it was so telling, not like we didn't know, but he's actually saying it. Those people are out in the boiling heat. If it were Biden, we probably wouldn't stand in the boiling heat, right? So that's the cult mind. He said he doesn't care about them. He said it. He doesn't care about them. And he's running on retribution and revenge. So I'm going to pull 3 cards. I'm just going to ask, like, why are they so hateful? You like my aunt? Who gave me this? Is it Christine? I have my Harry Potter one. And then he starts bashing the contractors. My goodness. So I'm going to pull 3 cards, and I'm just asking, why are these American people so... Yeah, he said, you're hot. What about me? Why are they so enamored with somebody that's so hateful even towards them? What are they so mad about? I mean, just the fact that I'm on the East Coast, you know, it's like, just because of that, it's like, it's kind of like similar to racism in that I don't like you because you're from there. Right? I know, isn't that a nice one? I think it was Christine, I don't want to get it wrong. Who sent me that? Claim it if you're the one that sent it. 5 of Swords. Okay. It's trauma. This is trauma. This is, because I'm asking how these people become so hateful. It's trauma. I have the 5 of Wands, the 5 of Swords, and the 5 of Cups, which is interesting that they're all 5s. 5 is about communication and numerology. So, why they're so hateful? It's unresolved issues. It really is. It's unresolved issues. People that are susceptible to the cult mind have unresolved issues in their lives, and have never really put a finger on it, like who was the problem, or where the disgruntledness came from. It's interesting that they're all 5s. 5 of Wands, 5 of Cups, 5 of Swords, which has to do with a lot of communication. Like they need to, this is how they get it out of their system. But the energy of these people that are so hateful is really, it's trauma based. And he's a traumatized individual. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Lisa is saying, if you take a knee, you are disrespecting the flag, but if you fly the flag upside down, you are a patriot. Please make that make sense. It doesn't make sense. None of it. The pathos is overwhelming. And then he starts talking about sharks in his speeches, and there was horrific shark attacks in Florida, like last week. He's completely off the rails. But because I'm getting all these 5, that indicates that the people that are so hateful have built up, pent up hatred. Dolly Parton has a new song called Don't Make Me to Come Down Here. You mean that's supposed to be God? Dad joke, to be frank, I'd have to change my name. That's what it is, everybody. If you wonder why they're so hateful. And Hunter Biden mentioned this before too. Hunter Biden, when people were asking him, you know, a little bit earlier, a few months ago, why these people were so angry, he did say that. He said they have some kind of trauma, like Marjorie Trader Green. That's what it is. And the loser was highly, I'm not justifying the way he is. Many people grew up traumatized and became wonderful people because they healed that. But being the son of Fred Trump was to be in the household of an absolute abuser from day one. And he needed his father's approval and he never got it. On that note, I want to mention to you all, I was telling Terry this earlier, that I saw a documentary last night, and I it's worth signing up for this app even if you don't have it, just to see this documentary. It's Gaia, Gaia. Do any of you have Gaia? It's kind of like metaphysics and quantum theories and UFOs and all that, and there's this great documentary on Gaia. Check it out. It's called, I think it's called Love Over Money, or Love Above Money. And so it's a story of the son of the owner of Baskin Robbins, and his name is Robbins. I don't know his first name. I should have caught that. You got to watch it. You got to watch it. It would give you a lot of insight. Like, this guy has had a phenomenal life. It will give you a lot of insight as to why people that are brought up in abusive households with with like billionaires or multimillionaires. John Robbins. Thank you, Joanne. John Robbins. It's easy enough to remember. That man got away from his father. He ended up running away because he was into Martin Luther King, and he was into the environment, and he was into all these really good things, and he was a good man. And he rejected his father, and his father completely rejected him, completely. And his father was hanging out with Nixon and all these kind of criminal types, and it was all about money, all about money, all about money, all about money. Somebody's saying that they have to keep subscribing to my channel. I know we'll get to that. It will change you if you watch that documentary. It's love over money or something like that. It will change you. It will. I was so glad that I found it. But anyway, back to the Trumpsters. What the loser has done is he's just like Hitler did. Just like Hitler did. Trump's dad was a white supremacist. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Hang on, Warren. Hold that thought. Just like Hitler did, appealed to the grievances. Yeah, resubscribe to my channel, because YouTube apparently doesn't like me. But they sure like the Trumpsters. Anyway, I don't want to get kicked off. Dad joke, do you need to build an ark? Because I know a guy. That's great. He's appealing to their grievances, and he's amping up the hatred. He's aligning with them. He's saying, I'm angry too. It fascinates me. We need to do a group hug. I'm all sweaty. The junk guy came, and I had to get rid of the, like extra boxes and stuff, and right before I came on, and I'm running around and trying to unload stuff. So I got kind of hot and sweaty. Let's do a group hug. Yeah, the loser plays on the fear. That's absolutely true. So he plays into the PTSD. And I know, frankly, speaking of Frank, I'd have to change my name if I want to be Frank. But I work with a lot of people in my spiritual counseling practice that have PTSD, and I've learned a lot about PTSD and how it can affect people. But it needs to be healed, not because these people are really they're ruining their own lives. There are people in New York City that were unfurling of one of his, the loser flags in the middle of the street in New York City, and the cops are like, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that, and they continued to unfurl the flag, and they ended up getting arrested, and they probably had to spend the night in jail or something. They're ruining their own lives, so it just shows you that they're not very into life, right? So let's do a group hug, and let's think about them finding love for peace. We'll do a group hug for peace. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Group hug. Yeah, let's come together. Let's come together as a country. Group hug from Orlando boarding the plane. Oh, wow. Oh, cool. Well, that's great. You're watching from the airport. Keep visualizing it. Know that we do a guided meditation for a healed America. Group hugs are so very powerful. Every Tuesday night, go to grassrootsofdemocracy.com. The thing is, Marilyn saying, fear is nothing to compare to love and bravery. Yeah, that's true. Love is all you need. The Supreme Court. We really are being tested. Alito wants us to be a Christian nationalist nation. We were founded on separation between church and state. This is why the pilgrims came here, right? I mean, they needed to get away from being suppressed, and they wanted to worship the way they wanted to worship, and they wanted to get away from the king, and they wanted to get away from all that. They didn't want to be told how to live and what to do. My Wi-Fi went down for 5 minutes, so I had to talk to my family. They seemed like nice people. Man. Okay. We're going to pick 3 cards. We're going to think about the good Americans. I mean, the ones that aren't angry and taking it out on everybody, right? We're going to pull 3 cards about the good Americans. Moonchild's giving us a group hug late. Better late than never. The good Americans. I'm telling you, I'm not saying that the Trumpsters are bad people. I don't hate Trumpsters. I just want them I want them to be nice. Oh, you like my shirt? This is actually a dress. I got this in Salem. It's a psychic dress. And I wore it just for you. I'm like, oh, I haven't worn that dress in a while. We're being tested. And Alito is really, I mean, when you think about it, look at all these things that are happening that we're being called upon to stand up for. That everyone has a right to worship as they see fit. And that democracy means others aren't controlling your life. And they're trying to throw all that out. I know, I did see a little bit of that. New audio shows Alito's boss front and center. We'll look at the Supreme Court. We're going to have to take out the nefarious cards for that. Do the catwalk in the dress. Not right now. I'm not too good at that. Well, you know, I got to tell you all that the guides are saying that, I mean, because I'm reading on the good American people, and the guides are saying that we're strengthening because of this. I know it probably sounds like Pollyanna and airy-fairy, but we have... Let me tell you about a book that I read. But first, a dad joke. What fruit does Romeo and Juliet eat? Cantaloupe. I mentioned Sebastian Junger before, and one of my favorite books that he wrote is called Tribe. And I recommend that book too. I recommend that documentary on Gaia, Gaia. Just sign up for a free trial and watch that movie if you don't want to subscribe. Sebastian Junger wrote a book called Tribe, Tribe. And in that book, it's one of my favorite books that he's written, because in that book he talks about that when people have to band together for the common good, for a common goal, they get really strong, they get really dedicated and committed to helping one another and to cooperate with the tribe to make things work out for the good. And when I'm asking about the people in America, I'm seeing strength. This is a strength card. And this is a Page of Pentacles. It's kind of like we're gingerly, like tiptoeing out there and going, we need to do this. I know, we have funny people in the chat. We're like a clique. My channel's not big, it's not growing, but we have our own little family clique. Anyway, the 10 of Wands. We're going to have many, many opportunities to put the law of contrast to work. And I'm hearing the mainstream news looking at it this way too. That's why I was saying I saw the juxtaposition, the loser with just looking horrible and just exuding horribleness, and people behind him saying, fire Joe Biden, like side by side with Joe Biden laying down a wreath at the cemetery of the soldiers, the lost veterans in World War I, World War II. And so I do think we're going to come together as one American tribe. Our tribe is strong. I agree with you. There are some wonderful people in this country. When we think about, you have the best wrenches, thank you to the wrenches. Oh, Thomas, you're sweet. The best wrenches and the best psychic. Thank you. I think what I'm picking up on is that and that's why I shared that story with you about going to New Hampshire and talking to people that were out there flying the flag for Trump. And I'm going to just repeat what happened there. I went up to a few of them and I started talking to them. And one of the things that kind of got through was when I said, "What are you saying, let's go Brandon? What do you mean by that?" Because I was really pretending I didn't know. And then they told me what it meant, and I just went, "Oh my gosh, if somebody ever said that to me, I would feel terrible." And I kind of got them to think about it. And, approaching them without like anger, and we really do have to work on that. 34 said, and I love that you call him 34, said in Vegas rally that he was going to drop the taxing on tips. He's trying everything. And I want to just to continue that story, this guy that I talked to there, I ended up talking to him for a good hour. This Trumpster. And what he said to me, because I really wanted to know more about how they were thinking, what he said to me, besides all the just waterfall of conspiracy theories, that the people that were just down the road a bit holding Biden and Harris signs, they wouldn't talk to him. They didn't want to talk to him. They didn't want anything to do with him. But he said, "At least you came and talked to us." That's what we need. Yeah, I don't care about you. I just need your votes. Felon said it out loud. Right. Meanwhile, back at the Supreme Court, this calls for the nefarious cards. Will his offer to reduce taxes on the oil industry for $1 billion donation to his campaign be investigated? Yes, it's just that how many crimes, how many things is he going to be investigated about? Let's ask the pendulum an important question. All right. Thank you guys for being here tonight. It's always nice to be with you. All right. Is Judge Mershon going to give the loser a prison sentence? That's a yes. Yeah, such a stark difference between Joe Biden and the loser, the convicted felon. And I wrote a few newsletters ago for Grassroots of Democracy and for Substack. It's one and the same. Thank you, Moonchild. I talked about the law of contrast. And let me just recap that for you. Energetically, we've talked about this before, energetically, when you have one thing that you definitely know that you go through your experience with that thing, that person or whatever, that you definitely, with a passion, don't want that, you can use that energy to catapult you into what you do want. And that's what we have to do as a nation. And I'm going to ask that, but we can't do it by bashing the Trumpsters. That's just going to push them away. Will the prison sentence start after the RNC convention? Let's first, all right, I'll ask that. Will it start after the RNC convention? I'm getting a yes on that. Let's use that energy to think about how much we love America. Let's use that energy that gets, when we're all upset and anxious and tense and fearful. We don't want a dictatorship. We don't want to be North Korea. We don't want to be under the rule of Vladimir Putin, right? Hi, Salty Chip. All right. So let's use that energy of, seeing what we don't want to redirect our minds to what we do want. I'm not picking up a whole lot of energy around an appeal in New York. Like, nothing. Dad joke, why couldn't Dracula's wife get to sleep? Because of his coffin. Where do you get them? Alito. I actually don't think that Alito is going to be able to. I know you might think I'm being all Pollyanna, but I'm kind of picking up that Alito is on rocky waters. Michael got a phone call from an old friend. What? Well, that's lovely. That doesn't happen so much nowadays, does it? Remember when people used to call you? Lisa's asking if Trump will cross over before the appeal. We can look. Remember when people used to call you up on the phone and talk to you? Remember? I'm pulling cards on Alito. Please come to our Grassroots of Democracy guided meditation for a healed America. We've got about 200 guided meditations for a healed America. I am doing my part, people. I'm doing everything I can. The only time I get upset is when I feel like not enough people are on board. Alito. I'm kind of feeling him being reined in. Interesting. And there are, that's what Cheryl's saying. She thinks Alito will be gone soon, and I'm kind of picking that up. Yogi Bear, will the loser's hairpiece fall off during a rally? I think it almost fell off during one. Thank you, Michael. Is Alito going to, is he going to step down? That is really weird. I swear I'm not being Pollyanna. I've been kind of like aggravated all day by the news. Oh, we have somebody who has a... Oh, we got to celebrate this. Michael, I have fantastic news. My oncologist today, all of my cancer is completely gone. Woo, woo! Don't you ring a bell for that? That's awesome. Oh, I love that. You made my day, Michael. That's so great. Aw. I'm so happy to hear that. We had a moment of celebration. How nice. Kathy Beale's in the house, professional Aquarian. And when one of you books a reading with Kathy Beale, that means we will have a show next Tuesday, right? Which is Full Moon Tuesday. And guess what? The summer solstice is on a full moon. And it's next week. It's next, not this Friday, but next Friday. Send Michael Garrity some hugs. One hug per show. Okay, Alito. What I'm actually picking up, I'm the Hierophant, and I'm picking up that we're picking back up the United States Constitution. Yeah, whenever you want, Kathy. I mean, whenever you want. I'm flexible. Kathy does awesome astrology readings. Yes, we have a quorum we have to meet. She's got to get 2 readings before we do the next show. We want to do a show twice a month. Tina feels like all her energy is gone. Drink some water. Have some coffee. That helps. Anyway, Alito is... I kind of feel like he's going to get reined in. Really upsetting people. Oh my gosh, he's upsetting the entire country. Wow, Darren, your ancestors were witches? Wait a minute. Your local newspaper has a date book section, June 10th, 1692. Bridget Bishop was hanged in Salem today in 16. Wow. She's in the cards here. She's in one of the cards, the Ten of Swords. Your mom had relatives who came to Maryland in 1643. Who reins him in? I'm feeling like Roberts reins him in because of pressure. I'm talking about Alito and the Three of Wands. Alito is going to really do some nasty, I'm just going to tell you. Yeah, he's going to do some nasty stuff. Thank you, Kathy. Alito has some really hard astrological aspects in August. Yeah, well, building up to that, it's going to be icky. Very, very emotional time. He's going to just keep... We have a lot of people in important positions who get off on inflicting pain. They're sadists. A lot. Think about it. Think about how many people are sadistic. Look at Marjorie Trader Green. Well, Alito is one of those. And he's out there saying that, oh yeah, people need to get more moral. They need to get more with religion and more moral. And he's inflicting pain on a lot of people. So I'm sorry. If you were brought up as a Christian, you learned that Christ was gentle and kind. He was strong, but he was gentle and kind. So I do feel that Alito is going to inflict more pain. And that's why he's going to get reined in. It's out of control. Alito deserves what's coming to him. Well, we're not sure what's coming to him, but I do see lots of health concerns for him and Clarence Thomas. And I know we get impatient because we want to get him now, right? We want to get him now. Michael, you okay? Somebody's sending prayers to Michael. While I'm shuffling, I want to let you know. Oh, Alito, yeah, sign petitions for Alito's removal. Those petitions are getting through. While I'm shuffling, I just want, speaking of church, I mean, I have a church that's not really a church. It's not, there's no dogma. And the sermons have been amazing. The music is great. The fellowship is great. We pray for our country. We do all this wonderful stuff. It's Church of Spirituality, has its own channel. Please go there and subscribe because it's good, important, helpful stuff. So it's at Church of Spirituality. And you got to check it out because it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. The pastor is fantastic. Thank you. And because it's a new channel, it takes like almost a whole day for the service to upload. That should change in time. Sign petitions for sure. Betty likes church. It's very calming and relaxing. Check it out. I'm going to read on the Supreme Court in general, the direction that the Supreme Court is going in general. So Alito he's a sadist. That's what I'm picking up. Yep. The Supreme Court. Oh, it wants to give me 4 cards. I guess there's more to the story. You have to wonder how so many of our fellow Americans have such twisted hearts and souls. I read on that earlier. Were you here? It's their unresolved traumas. That's what it is. That's what the card said. That's what I got. It's unresolved traumas. Think about it this way. The loser is appealing to their... See, I want to give you guys insights. I don't want to just look at the cards. As you know, I do that. So the loser had a lot of trauma in his childhood. I think he came in as an evil human being anyway. And I think that's possible because I think he was Mussolini. But anyway, he came in and he had a lot of rage towards his father that he was not able to express due to the, Fred being so controlling. Other people that were brought up in environments where they were treated horribly and abusively and they could never get their rage out, have it pent up, and then the loser comes along and is like, retribution, and they're like, yes, retribution. You know what I mean? That's how it works. The Supreme Court in general. Does that help you to understand? It's massive amounts of trauma. That sounded like a boat. Oh my goodness. By the way, have you guys noticed that it's staying light? It looks like it's the middle of the day. Have I heard anything about the Catholic Church coming out with statements on the UFO and the paranormal? Well, I've heard a lot about the paranormal. I did hear about the UFOs. Yeah. Yes. The loser appeals to their lowest, weakest, worst attributes of self, and that's unresolved issues. Today you heard Henry VIII came back as Mussolini. Really? Who said that? I didn't go that far back. Wait, all right. Because that would be the same soul, right? Because the loser was Mussolini. And you know what? I just want to say about that because he was Mussolini in his past life, that's my psychic fact, it's my psychic opinion. If you look at pictures, I'll pull out a picture again for next time of Mussolini. He signs his name the same way, his body language is the same, he holds his face, his jaw the same way, the loser, as Mussolini. And the thing that will freak him out the most is when people turn on him. When people turn on him. Yogi Bear saying UFOs visit you often. Oh, we can read on aliens tonight if you want. We can read on anything. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting, weird energy, and I think on some level people are picking up on it, and they're kind of, everything feels a little off. Okay. MSNBC said charges are brought against the loser for insurrection. Is that what you meant to write there? Dad joke, I keep randomly shouting out broccoli and cauliflower. I think I might have florets. Where am I? The Supreme Court. I was going to read on something and I'm reading the chat. The Catholic Church does know about UFOs. The President of the United States knows about aliens. Thank you, Cheryl. Let me just tell you this, because you guys brought it up. A long time ago, I got like a psychic hit. This is my psychic impression. That when a president of the United States gets into office, one of the first things that happens is they reveal to him that they have an alien in captivity. And I feel that there are benevolent ETs, but they're not all benevolent. Ronald Reagan saw a UFO when he was on, I believe he was on Air Force One, and shortly after that, Ronald Reagan got all, remember, if you guys remember this, he got all into this Star Wars space weapons. Marilyn said she was visited by the aliens when I lived in Texas. And when you start talking about, ETs and aliens, most people have encountered them. My best friend just sent me a picture of a UFO. Okay. Read Chuck's quote. Yeah, Jimmy Carter saw one as well. So this is... I'm reading on the Supreme Court here and I'm talking about aliens. What's going on? Just getting off the track. Meanwhile, back at the Supreme Court. Alright, as far as the Supreme Court goes, the issue of January 6th is not going away. Okay? The Seven of Cups. Yeah, the Supreme Court is going to be kind of, becoming just discombobulated in the next several months. I keep going back to the Hierophant, which is about the United States Constitution. I think we're going to hear a lot of talk about they're supposed to be upholding the United States Constitution, and at every turn they do not. The Supreme Court is going to be it's going to be the headlines of the news for the next several months. Supreme Court, what's going on with the Supreme Court, and I warned you all last week. I thought a decision would come sooner, but I warned you last week, giving you ample notice. And we'll ask about this. Alito is planning to give Trump full immunity. Oh, you know what I was, thank you for reminding me. I was going to ask if SCOTUS has sold out big time. Well, when the loser was in office, America was for sale. It still is. Is Henry VIII the same soul as Trump? I'm getting yes. Where did somebody heard that? The court goes on a hiatus at the end of June until October. Doesn't mean we won't have a lot of news about them. Because Kathy, what I'm saying is we're going to be talking about the Supreme Court. It's going to be all over the news. So they make their decisions this month. That's what we're going to be reeling from. Oh, Violetta said that today. I haven't seen her on YouTube in a long time. I have a hard time deciphering what she's saying. Henry VIII, yes, it looks like the same soul. I am getting an affirmative on that, so she was right. So yeah, they're going to make horrific decisions this month. Get ready. I mean, we can try to change it with your mind and psych them out, but Alito's already decided. Remember, I'm picking up sociopathy. The more pain, the cruelty is the point. This is what we have to push back against. We don't want people in positions of power that get off on being cruel. It's not okay. Oh, I open up the alien topic. National Geographic has some good documentaries. So I'm going to pull 3 cards now about those decisions. I do feel like they're going to give the loser immunity. Now let's ask this. They've got some really decisions that they shouldn't even be making coming up this month. Will they give the loser full immunity? Not full immunity. But the fact that they even took it on is enough, right? No, not full. Are they gonna, is it gonna be kind of like partial immunity? Oh, well, that's interesting. So it might be that Alito votes for full immunity and the others don't. How many will want the loser to have full immunity? Will it be 1? Yeah, 1. Every tyrant symbolizes... Let's check this quote out. Every tyrant symbolizes such a father whom the abused child remains attached with every fiber of their being, hoping that one day they can transform him into a loving parent by remaining blind. Yep, that's it. That's the psychology of it. Alito always talks about goodliness. That's because he doesn't know what it is. It's probably an intriguing topic. He'll get immunity for presidential activities, Warren's saying. Is that what it is? I'm not getting that. Oh, okay, yeah, SCOTUS doesn't have the authority to grant complete immunity. It's not stated in the Constitution that they have this power. I know, but what does the Constitution mean nowadays? Because the 14th Amendment says someone who aided and abetted, insurrection is not supposed to be qualified to run for office, right? So even though we want to go like, well, the Constitution says whatever it says, fill in the blank. Have you noticed that the rules do not apply to certain people? Have you noticed? I certainly have. Oh me, oh my. What did I hear today? I heard somebody on the news was talking about that when the loser goes into this, like, just outrageous, pathetic things that he says, it kind of takes people's attention away from the really important stuff. So there's some of that going on with the loser. Like the horrible things that he was saying. I don't know if I give him that much credit, because he doesn't really... The loser is pretty much on, like... I can't really describe it. I don't know what you would call this, but the loser is kind of like, he doesn't think about consequences. He's very much in the moment, not in an enlightened way, just like... And things just fly out of his mouth. Like Tourette's, like somebody made some kind of just alluded to that earlier. So I don't think he's doing it intentionally to distract from the other news about. I don't think that's intentional. Florence, yes. Sorry. It's kind of a bad joke. Thomas. Does he do it? No, he doesn't do it intentionally, but he doesn't give it any forethought, but when he says these outrageous things, the news talks about the outrageous things and doesn't really focus, we didn't hear much today, I don't think, about his probation officer, that meeting, right? Yeah, he said he doesn't care about them. And they were dropping from the heat. That's real cult. That's real cult. Did the probation officer test his mental health? No, it looks like that didn't happen today. All right, where are the lawyers out there? Do you know what the probation officer probably asked today? When does he get a P test and all that? We haven't really heard how that went. That will stay private. Too bad, huh? He had a Zoom meeting today, but we don't get to hear about it. We should get to hear about it. This is America, damn it. All right. Let's see. We have to read about our actual president and what's going on with the Democrats. We do have to do that. But let's just ask one more thing. I'm going to pull 3 cards about the party of traitors, the pot party. I'm going to ask, so Warren's saying about the probation officer, they asked the basics, finances, friendships with felons. Yeah, he's got friendships with the felons, all right. Family background. I bet that was a very colorful meeting with the probation officer. The party of traitors that are going around and saying that the DOJ is weaponized and corrupt and all this stuff, and I'm actually just gonna read on what their fate is. I mean, they're traitors. They're traitors. They're violating their oath. So that's what I mean when I say the Constitution doesn't mean anything. Kathy, you're going to Texas tomorrow? It's going to be hot. Stay cool. Stay as cool as you are. 3 cards about the party of traitors. The ones that are attacking the DOJ. By the way, I don't feel that the loser's going to be really able to really even stand up after a little while. Okay, 30 minutes. Why are you saying 30 minutes? The party of traitors. They're being paid. They're hiding money. The traitors are hiding money. They have been, wow, it's so interesting. The party of traitors have been hiding the money that they're receiving for holding that stance. Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, they're being paid. Okay, so what they're doing is, it's like, it is mind control. It's like they're just set on I'm not going to say his name anymore, so you can say his name. Like, they're just set on loser, 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 loser. It's and you know what this reminds me of? Reading about the loser in Mary Trump's book, when she said that in no uncertain terms, Fred Trump told his son he had to never, ever, ever, ever lose. And I feel like the party of traitors is locked into that. No matter what, just lose. Just you have to just keep on saying it ain't so. It ain't. It's not so. It's not so. It's not so. It's not so. It's mind control. It's total mind control. That's where they are. They're hiding money. They have money. They have people, they have billionaires funding them. For some reason, the King of Swords makes me think of Viktor Orban. I think that Orban is Putin's mouthpiece. Remember, they invited him to the Turning Point or their stupid convention. Anyway. But they're single-mindedly, there's no way, it's kind of like when they're on those news shows and those interviews, it's, gosh, this is so weird. I really am getting the mind control thing. When they're in those interviews that they just botched terribly, yeah, CPAC, that's what it was, they invited Viktor Orban. This is cult. They're barely listening to the interviewer. They're running something in their head. And I remember Steve Hassan in his book Combating Cult Mind Control was talking about a cult. It might have been the Moonies that he was in. Steve Hassan, who wrote The Cult of Trump. That he would chant when he was working on not being swayed by the normal people when he was in a cult. He would just say the same things, chant over and over and over to not let their information get in. That's what the party of traitors is doing. So when they're on those news shows, they're not really listening. And have you noticed that they do this thing, and it drives me up the wall, where they won't let the interviewer say a word or interject anything, and then they say, like, they're totally interrupting the interviewer, totally interrupting, totally just steamrolling the entire interview, and then they say this, and they're like, well, if you'd let me talk, honey, really? That makes me nuts. Before we go, it is Monday, and we try to keep it at, oh, please hit the thumbs up. Yeah, they talk over the interview. It's the most annoying thing. It started with Kellyanne Conway, and they all do it, and it's so freaking rude. No wonder we're all upset. Dad joke. Whenever somebody says, I don't believe in coincidences, I say, oh my God, me neither. Is that what that said? That's funny. Yes, and Midas Touch showed where Fox heavily edited the interview. The truth will win. The truth will win. I'm going to pull 3 cards on Joe Biden, and now that Joe Biden is the glue that's holding this country together, and Joe Biden is the glue that's holding the world together, in no uncertain terms, that is the truth. That is the truth. Hey, Lois. Yeah, they monopolize the conversations, a party of traitors. Before we finish, I'm going to pull 3 cards about what's going to happen. Those cards were showing me what they're doing. Let's pull 3 cards about what's going to happen to them. Like, are they going to be... Yeah, they're using Russian tactics. Definitely. I mean, and I really see more and more... I mean, I've been saying this for 4 or 5 years, but I see more and more that the general public will have actual knowledge of that. A few months ago, I was saying, you're going to hear the words Russian propaganda all the time. And he did say, we get all the money from Russia, the loser. He did say that. So I'm just reading. I know we're going into Midas Touch time, but we're going to wrap it up soon. I'm not doing tea leaves tonight. Okay. Okay, so the Hermit indicates that they're going to end up feeling isolated, the party of traitors, so that's good news. They will have to succumb. They will have to cave somewhat. They got nothing to stand on. And the King of Pentacles, they will be found out. The party of traitors, it will be found out who their fealty is too. All right, before we go, I'm going to pull 3 cards about the Biden administration. 3 cards about the Biden administration. Send a lot of love to the Biden administration. One of my exes today told me, we're good friends still, told me, ex-boyfriend, that he donates $500 a month to Act Blue. So if you have the means, if you don't have $500 a month, I mean, he costs a lot of money, but if you don't have that, I was just so happy to hear that. Donate something monthly. You're welcome, Warren. Donate something monthly to the Biden campaign. It's worth it. It's worth it. So as far as Biden goes, yes, I see people becoming emotional about America, and the Wheel of Fortune is a big change for the better, and the 10 of Cups. Biden has so many things that he's done for the American people, and people are going to start noticing. The law of contrast is definitely in motion. We don't want this loser. We do not. Yeah, donate what you can, because this is about living free. This is about the planet being saved, because it's... Wait till this summer really gets cranking. So, do everything that you can. Please join us. Do everything that you can. Hi, Patty. I haven't seen you in a while. Everything that you can. Join us at grassrootsofdemocracy.com. Join us. If you can't make our meetings, you will get the notes and you'll get the meditations and everything. Please check out Church of Spirituality. We pray for our country. That YouTube channel is at Church of Spirituality. To book a reading, psychic.AnnetteDion.com. I've got plenty of room in my schedule. Check it out. And I also have a summer series that you want to sign up for if you want to be more psychic. Definitely. Psychic.AnnetteDion.com. I'll be back on Wednesday. Be well. All right. Love you guys. Go watch Midas Touch. Excellent. Namaste. You're the best. Pat yourself on the back. See ya.